What's going on, everybody? My name is Tomas, and this video is for those individuals that just purchased themselves a new Sony a7 series camera. And regardless of it being a Mark I or a Mark II version of either of those cameras, this video will serve you well. And before we get into this video, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Do you need a cage for your new Sony a7 series camera? Are you on a budget? Don't want to sacrifice quality because you're on that budget? Well, I may have an answer for you. In this video, I'm going to talk about assembling a solid cage for your new camera. I'm going to walk you through all the parts used in this video and how I went about putting them together. The first part of this build is going to be a cage option that you will primarily use for handheld shots and will give you more cold shoe mounts than you could ever possibly need. And then as we progressively finish this build out, I'm going to show you how to have some options that will better suit your film monitor needs, or if you need a follow focus. Ultimately, this setup that I'm showcasing will cost you roughly $130 USD for the first part of this build and bumps you up to $270 USD for this completely assembled. Everything that I'm talking about will be linked in the description of this video. Enough talking, let's get into this. For the first setup, you will need a PNC Gearbox GB1. PNC makes a couple of different options when it comes to their GB series cages. They have a GB1, which is the one I recommend you purchase, the GB2, and the GB3. The second piece you'll need is the Manfrotto 577 base plate with a quick plate. This thing will allow you to quickly mount and unmount your camera from the cage, which is my second favorite thing about this cage option. The first being how low cost it is. Because traditionally, cages are meant to stay on the camera, and I don't really like that. With this build, I'm allowed to remove my camera from the cage at any given time and mount it to my other options. Thirdly, you'll need some cold shoe mounts, and you can buy as many as you need. Finally, you'll need some screws. Now, these can be purchased from your local hardware store at a much cheaper price than what you can find that's linked in the description, so I recommend that you go out and find those. Plus, you can take the cage out there and test to see if those will fit and work for you the best. That's what I did. I just linked you some down in the description so you could get an idea if you don't have a local hardware store near you. Side note, an additional item that you're probably going to need if you want to mount this cage to any kind of tripod is you're going to need a base plate based on your tripod, so buy an additional one. In my case, I am invested in the Manfrotto series stuff, so everything that I have accommodates the Manfrotto 501 PL plates. So again, I recommend that you buy an additional base plate based on what it is you have. All right, so here we are about to build this thing. Like I said before, this already has some cold shoe mounts on it because it took me a little bit of finagling to put the screw into it. Right off the bat, you're going to need to remove two of the extensions from the PNC Gearbox 1 or the GB1 because, in my opinion, more compact cages are better. And if you leave these extensions in place, they make this thing a little bit too much to handle. It becomes top heavy because the camera is low center of gravity on the thing. The way that you remove this is that you'll need an Allen key to remove the bottom parts of this, and you just take these portions off and you're going to remove the whole bottom base plate. I'll speed this up through the magic of video, and we'll hop back into what it is it will look like after the fact as soon as I demonstrate how this is removed from the handle of the PNC Gearbox 1. So you're just going to remove these extensions from this and then reattach the base plate to it. All right, so here we have a finished product. As you can see, it's a much lower profile. The cage becomes much more manageable when moving it around and stuff like that. The next part is we're gonna go ahead and attach the 577 base plate from this, but I don't want the 501 PL within the system while I do so. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that, and we'll take a look at it here momentarily. One thing to note with the 577, if it's not clearly outlined, it says insert here, so the lens is going to be facing that way. You want to make sure the PNC GB1 is facing the same way. So whatever way you intend the lens to face, you want that to face the same way. Okay, so here we have a finished product with the 577 attached to it. One thing you'll want to note, and a good helpful guide, is if you take the 3/8 inch screw that comes with the Manfrotto 577 and put it in there, it will help you line this up rather nicely. Now that we've got it built to this stage, let's expand it to accommodate a follow focus system and or a field monitor like what it is that I need it for. First, you'll need a 15mm rod base plate. Now you can purchase other base plates, but I cannot confirm if they will work with this setup or not. I can, however, confirm the small rig mounting plate. Again, all items shown in this video are linked in the description. Next would be some 15mm rods, of course. Any rod length will work with this because based on your needs, you can attach it to it. Next, you'll need a rod clamp. This will allow you to stabilize any field monitor mounting on the rod system. To mount anything on this rod clamp, you'll need another cold shoe mount. You should have some left over from the first part of this build, so keep that in mind. And finally, one of my favorite pieces of camera gear, the Manfrotto 492 LCD. Now this can be interchanged with anything you find suitable for your mounting needs, like an articulating arm or anything like that. I just recommend the 492 LCD for field monitor use because its build and security, it's possibly the best thing that I've purchased as an accessory for my field monitor. All right, so before we get into attaching any base plate rod systems to this cage, I want to make clear that you're going to want to utilize a 1/2 inch quarter 20. And with that being said, you're going to probably find these at your Home Depot or your Lowe's, and they work absolutely superbly. And try to get a flathead as well. It feels like this size of screw was meant to serve this purpose. As you can see, it is secure. So let's go ahead and move on to attaching the rods. Well, that about does it for me. I hope this video helped you and create a cage that fits your needs in addition to saving you some money. If you like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down and let me know in the comment section down below what it is that I can do to improve. In addition to that, feel free to check out my channel, some of the past works that I've done. If you like what you've seen here and what you've seen on my channel and you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Take care.